What is going on, guys? Christian from the Lay and Pray MMA podcast, joined by Trenton. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Hey, and Jeffrey isn't here because he's too busy having an aneurysm from his Zoom technical difficulties that we've had, pretty recently. You with your mic.
We've been struggling pretty hard lately.
Yeah,
and, we
it's
apologize.
the Cassidy brothers curse. It's the fucking technologies is backfiring on you guys.
One day soon, we will get back on track the proper way and have a trio podcast the way we're supposed to do it and how we
the right
it.
way.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like, we've been consistent up until the point where we started having like issues, technical difficulties. And then obviously with Jeffrey having to go to Nevada like last minute and then you helping him move and stuff. So it's just one of those things where the time of the year. But other than that, you weren't available to do the podcast with us last week when Jeffrey and I did the podcast before the Cannonier and Gastelum card. But we've got some stuff to talk about, and we'll just I guess the first thing is we're now on episode, I believe this is episode 16 now. And thank you so much for everybody that's watched the episodes. We appreciate the support. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to comment on the videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can see when we go live. And then also, if you're listening to us on podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, all that fun stuff, please make sure to subscribe to us on those different platforms too, and check out the channel. Check out our YouTube channel. It's Lay and Pray MMA podcast. So I guess the first thing, just jumping into the fights from this last week. Overall, what do you think of the fight card, first off?
I actually thought they were pretty good fights. Mm-hmm. I think I didn't watch the press conference and I didn't see or the post-fight press conference. I don't know who got fight of the night and all their awards and stuff. But to me, fight of the night.
The knockout of the night, I already know who it was. It was that spinning heel kick knockout in the prelims.
That was gnarly.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 10 seconds left in
the fight. And he was losing, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't watch the prelims. I only watched the main card. So
I saw that, and it was
Oh wait. That's not true, because I watched Brent Kelleher. I watched his fight. So I guess that's not true. I did watch some of the prelims.
One of the most exciting fights to me was the Royval fight. Royval and
that was the only one that was the only pick that I got wrong. And Alex Pantoja.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pantoja fight.
That fight, for as long as it lasted, was fireworks.
Yeah.
And as soon as that was over, or the fight card or whatever was over, I pretty much wrote you and was like, dude, Brandon Royval is super exciting and he's got so much potential, man. Like,
I agree.
I think he's going to be a threat to that division. In like, I don't how old is he? Like, I think he's fairly young, isn't he?
I think he's like 26 or 27.
Yeah, give that kid.
Oh no, he's 29. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, he's right there near his prime now. Then, but you give that kid 2 more years, another year of solid fucking training at a gym. That dude's going to be scary, man. That guy's cardio is insane and he's relentless. Like, the pressure that he brings is going to be a problem for a lot of dudes. He's super exciting. I was just as much impressed with him in this loss as I was with like Pantoja with the win, to be honest. Like, I was like, dude, that was like a gritty win. Like, he got him down and that rear naked choke was nice and stuff. But like, Royval looked really good in that defeat as well. You know what I mean? Like,
the one takedown that he attempted, the one takedown that he got, I mean, he landed it, so he was 100% on his takedown. He 1 for 1. But I mean, his striking looked good. He just got put in a bad position against a Brazilian guy who's really good with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I guess in that fight, the one thing that I thought was interesting, post fight, Pantoja, he talked about how he had fought Brandon Moreno and how that's a fight he wants to do again. And like, he was very respectful in the post fight, but then when it came to like the post fight press conference, he's like, well, I think Brandon's scared and all this other stuff. It's like, dude, I really don't think Brandon's scared. I mean, he fought the guy who's like arguably the scariest guy in the division because Cejudo's gone.
Yeah.
And Figueiredo.
That's just trying to solidify the fight,
But the thing is like, I just think it's funny because, you go from being like super humble, respectful.
Well, he was also cage side.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing UFC for Spanish.
But when you're behind closed doors and he's not around anymore, you might be able to say some more shit.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, that was the only fight that I picked wrong on. Was I thought Brandon Royval was gonna, bring it, but he didn't, and that's okay because
he brought it. He just
got caught. He just got caught by a guy, and also.
He puts himself in risky situations, man. Like he does. That's got to be something that he fixes.
Yeah,
like he's exciting, but he's willing to put himself in bad situations, and I think that was what eventually led.
That's what led to that was his demise. Yeah, but good on Alexander Pantoja. He looked really good, and I think that would be honestly a fight that I would like to see is him versus Figueiredo.
Yeah,
just because it would be interesting to see how that one would go.
I agree.
Just two Brazilian guys.
I feel like they got to do. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was gonna say I feel like they got to do the rematch, but like it wasn't the fight really wasn't close last time, so I don't know why.
He got to finish. Brandon worked him for as long as the fight lasted.
So the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, well, I mean, I could see how Pantoja could step up and fight either one of those guys, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't Pantoja? He's the one that beat Moreno before he left.
Yeah,
that's what got him cut.
That's what got him cut from the UFC. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a storyline there already.
Well, Moreno was just funny because he was just smiling the whole time and just nodding his head and like. So
he's game. He's right.
Yeah,
he'll fight.
I think he's game to fight anybody.
Yeah,
in that division. I mean, he said he'd fight Cody Garbrandt too. So fuck it.
That's probably scarier.
Yeah. In the lightweight division, the next fight on because we only picked fights for the main card. Vink Pichel versus Austin Hubbard. This one was I think what made it seem closer was Austin got 4 takedowns in the fight. But Pichel was the more I guess he was the better striker. So in standing wise, he was the better striker. I felt like that fight was pretty close. Like it could have gone either way. I wasn't disappointed with the decision. If Hubbard would have won, I wouldn't have been upset. There wasn't really there wasn't really anything for me like that really stuck out.
The whole time they were fighting, I was thinking, maybe I'm the only one too. I'm like, dude, this guy looks like Cub Swanson.
Yeah, that's exactly. I literally thought the same thing. I was like, this looks like a lightweight Cub Swanson.
Yeah,
mustache and all, tattoos. Yeah, shaved head.
I kept looking for the palm trees and I didn't see him. I was like, where? Like this is. I guess it's not Cub.
Swanson across the back. Swanee.
Samsonite. I was way off.
I was way off. But Pichel called out Gregor Gillespie. So that'd be a pretty interesting fight. That was one of the 2 call outs that Gregor got for the night because later on in the co-main event, Mark Madsen also called out Gregor Gillespie.
And if I'm being honest, I think Mark Madsen will get that over Pichel.
So do I. Just because first off, Mark Madsen, the older guy, undefeated, and coming off of a win against Clay Guida, who's been a staple in the UFC since as long as
himself.
I mean, and dude, he's one of the main reasons why I loved the lightweight division when I first started watching the UFC, because, you know, I mean, he came from Strikeforce and he was just a beast. But yeah, Pichel ended up getting the win. He his record is now 14-2. Austin Hubbard drops 13-6, but Austin Hubbard still got. I mean, he fights in Colorado with Team Elevation, or is it Team Elevation? No, he fights with Kamaru and Justin Gaethje and Rose. I don't know. I don't think that's Team Elevation.
Let me see if it shows here.
Trevor Whitman, his team. I don't remember off the top of my head. Well, funny enough, because a guy from Fairbanks, his name's Benjamin Bennett. I'm actually want to get him on the show. He's fighting on LFA card this weekend, and he trains with Kamaru and Justin and Rose and Austin. So
that'd be tight.
Yeah. I really don't have anything else to add in terms of that fight. I thought it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It wasn't terrible, and like I said, it could have gone either way. I wasn't disappointed with the decision.
No.
In the bantamweight division, Trevin Jones fought Sedikub Kakramanov. Kakramanov was coming off like super short notice fight, 4 days notice, and from the opening bell, Kakramanov was in control of that fight, and it's kind of worrisome that a guy like Jones wasn't really. He looked terrible. He couldn't get anything going.
It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
It was like, dude, which is the guy that had 4 days?
Yeah.
Which guy had 4 days notice? You would have thought that it was Jones.
I don't remember him throwing a strike.
I remember him throwing a strike, but I don't remember him throwing a combination
for takedowns. After takedown after takedown,
and getting stuffed.
They weren't even takedowns, though.
No,
he was just shooting to hold him against the cage. Yeah. So Kakramanov or whatever wouldn't hit him. And he didn't try to sweep the legs. He didn't try to pull him out from underneath him. He didn't do nothing. He just stuck his head in the guy's hips and hid there for 3 rounds until finally he got caught doing that
and got put to sleep. Yeah, in a standing in a standing guillotine.
And I picked Jones.
I know,
to win that fight.
I know.
That's one of the ones out of the 2 I got wrong on this whole card.
And
I was
the heavyweight
pretty
one.
upset because I was like, broski,
you're like, bro, you fucked up my record of
with that
picks.
Too.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even try.
Yeah.
I felt like he did it to me intentionally.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this fucker Trenton in California. Fuck that guy.
Must have watched the podcast.
Yeah, seriously. He's
didn't like me.
Well, the thing is you weren't even on the podcast last week.
True.
So I got your picks on Snapchat and I had to save it to my phone.
That's true.
Yeah, Kakramanov in terms of striking, his striking looked good. His takedown defense looked good. Jones, I don't know if he had just like a bad weight cut, but he looked like he was gassed before the first round was even over. And then he got caught in the, that standing guillotine, and he fought it for as long as he could, and then he went to sleep. But Kakramanov, he was just trying to finish that fight. He didn't even look tired at the end of it all.
No.
So I'm hoping that, Kakramanov, that was his first fight in the UFC. That's a hell of a debut. So
yeah. I'm interested to see where he goes from there.
Me too. I
don't know. I'm trying to think of what would be a good fight for him, but I can't really think of anybody right now.
The thing is in the bantamweight division, there's no telling.
Yeah.
Hell, why don't you do him versus Sean O'Malley, since Sean O'Malley doesn't want to fight any, he said I'm getting paid.
He's getting paid the same.
I'm getting paid the same whether I'm fighting top. He's not wrong. No. Whether I'm fighting top 15 or I'm fighting, nobody unranked, I'm getting paid the same.
He don't give a shit until they renew his contract and give him more money. He don't give a fuck who he's gonna fight.
From the business perspective, I get it, but from if he doesn't fight somebody, it's like I said, if he doesn't fight somebody of name value, soon, I'm gonna be off that train. I guess the next fight, Parker Porter versus Chase Sherman in the heavyweight division. This was actually a pretty fun fight in terms of, both guys, you could tell were tired.
Oh yeah.
Especially going into that third round, and they were throwing shots. Sherman would hit him with like a good shot, but he was so tired that he couldn't follow up on it. And Porter, same thing. He would hit him and Sherman wouldn't go down, but it was the fact that Porter in one of the rounds, I can't remember what round, he ended up getting a takedown, and he was also able to like push the pace. He was the one pressing the action, and he also landed more shots. I also picked Porter in this fight because Sherman in his last fight lost to Andrei Arlovsky. And it was like, dude, what? Like, you can't lose to Andre. No, you can't lose to literally the definition of a pioneer in this sport this late in his career. You can and that was last year he fought in 2020. So I was kind of like, dude, whether you were injured, because I think he was injured in that fight. It's like everybody's got injuries, bro.
Yeah, I picked Sherman because he was the one guy that in the fight that I had seen fight before. Mm-hmm. I'd never seen.
Was it against Parker. Andre?
I mean, probably, but I think I've seen him fight 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't think I remember any of them being great. You know what I mean? But I just recognized the face to the name, and I was like, all right, I got him. And then Parker Porter did the work, so he gets the win. It wasn't a boring fight. It was
fun. I think that might have gotten fight of the night. Honestly, I think it did.
And I mean, I don't know how many times Parker hit Sherman, and I thought like
Parker hit Sherman 159 times. It was 149 significant strikes, and then Sherman had 121 total strikes landed, 117 significant strikes.
Yeah, I just thought like when Parker was hitting, it was doing the damage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how many of these Sherman can take. And then
he took 129 of them.
Yeah, and then he never went down. And I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I thought he was gonna go to sleep, and he never did.
Yeah.
I thought at least I was like, one of these shots is gonna rock him and put him down. Like, because he was landing pretty clean on some of them, and they were hard.
Yeah.
But he just it would rock him, and then
he'd shake it off.
He'd shake it off, and like Parker didn't have the stamina or some shit to push him at the time, so it was like,
okay,
all right, I guess we're just gonna play Rock'em Sock'em Robots for a minute, like.
That was a fun fight. I'm glad I went with Parker in that fight. The co-main event was Clay Guida versus Mark Madsen. Obviously, Mark Madsen was wrestler, was in the Olympics, which is the biggest reason why he started his mixed martial arts career so late.
Some Greco-Roman.
Yeah, out of Denmark, I believe. Martin Kampmann type shit. Dude, Martin Kampmann was in his corner.
I didn't even
the Hitman.
Shout out to the Hitman.
Yeah, shout out to the Hitman. And that was another fun fight. I thought that was really close. And it was like what I was telling Jeffrey. I don't know if you ended up watching the podcast at all, Trenton, but
I watched like the first parts of it. I was working out and
so you don't even show support to our own fucking YouTube, bro.
I was watching it while I was working out.
Yeah.
And I didn't work out that long, so
wow. I'm shaming you twice.
It counted as a view.
Yeah, it counted as a view. It's like if they only knew.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I was talking to Jeffrey, since you didn't watch because you don't give a shit about our
I watched
channel,
some of it. I said
you didn't watch my thoughts on Clay Guida though.
No, I didn't get that far.
I was like, how far did you get? The intro, and then
no, I got about. I don't know, about 25 minutes in, probably.
Yeah. Clay Guida did what Clay Guida always does. He hit lots of fucking head movement, lots of, brushing his hair back, lots of.
Which makes me sweat thinking about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn. And then, goes forward, gets some good shots, lands some good shots. Clay Guida, the reason why I think he stuck around is because he's still exciting nonetheless. Like, he's never in a boring fight.
No. Am I crazy to think that like Clay Guida, when he throws punches now, he sits on him a little bit more and he has more power?
Yeah, but I
Some
think
of those shots that he threw, I was like, dude, if that landed, he was fucking sleeping.
Yeah,
like,
if it was flush,
yeah. I was like, dude, because like there was a couple right hands that he threw. I was like, oh shit, that looked hard as fuck, but he missed. Like I was like, if that lands, Madsen's going to sleep.
See, for me, what I was interested in was to see how the wrestling would factor into this fight.
Yeah.
And it didn't factor into this fight at all.
Yeah, it was very
like it was just more stand up. Yeah. Madsen went for one takedown attempt, didn't get it, and Guida didn't go for any takedowns either. So I was just like, oh fuck, all right. But Madsen, it was a pretty close fight. I had it 2-1 Madsen, but again, this was probably one of the main fight cards where I didn't think that there was bad decisions in terms of like the judging and the fights that we picked.
Yeah.
Unlike Jeffrey getting screwed three of those picks that he made. Oh,
yeah, that was bad and sad for him.
I know, poor guy. Speaking of which, though, at the end of all of this, you and I are tied. We're both 35 and 23 in our picks. Jeffrey's 26 and 32. So he managed to gain some ground because he was like 10 fights under 500. Right. So
we're all getting back up there. When we all get back into alignment,
I know
that's when things get interesting again.
I know. But the thing is if we're picking the same fights, one of us is bound to pull away. Unlike Jeffrey, who just did the complete opposite. He was like, if I'm going to stay in this, or if I'm going to catch up, I've got to go opposite of you guys. There wasn't really anything else for me to really talk about in the co-main between Clay and Mark. Mark called out Gregor Gillespie, and he's like, let's see who the real best wrestler is in this division. But I mean, for a guy who says he's the best wrestler, he didn't utilize any wrestling. Yeah. He seemed surprised that he won too. Like he was very very emotional that.
Yeah, he let out a scream and stuff. And I honestly, I'm not a hater, but I wasn't super impressed with Madsen.
No, I wasn't impressed with Guida either, though.
No, but Guida was just doing what Guida does for the most
part. Every fucking fight.
And Guida rises to his competition as well. Like he's in the grittiest wars and shit when the guys are like, when he probably shouldn't even be fighting these dudes, and then it turns into some fucking bloody warfare. You know what I mean? Like and then when he fights these guys, I mean, obviously he's undefeated or whatever Mark Madsen is, but when he fights these guys,
the guys that he's fought, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, he made it to the UFC, so
I've never
even fought before, so I'm not talking shit. I want to make that very clear. I'm not talking shit.
But the guys that he's fought compared to the guys that he's fought are even fucking the same.
Yeah. You know? I mean, Clay fought Diego when he was sane, kind of.
Well,
that's how long ago.
Debatable, but
we're talking about yes. Yes.
I just didn't think Madsen's stand-up looked that great. A lot of his shots were like looping hooks and stuff like that I just wasn't impressed. He didn't seem to throw like very good combinations together and stuff like that. He didn't look fluid. He looked like a tight wrestler. You know what I mean? Like when those guys, some of them, not everybody, but like when they start throwing punches and shit, they look tight and their shoulders are tight. And like, it just looked like every shot he was throwing was trying to be like a power punch or something like that.
Think about a lot of wrestlers that primarily there's very few wrestlers.
Have power. They just
I mean, Tyron Woodley is, Randy at one point had it, but
Hendricks.
Johnny Hendricks. But there's very few that, because it's that type of style. I mean, you wrestled, you know what it's like. You're very the loosest part on your body is like you're standing on your tiptoes, expecting to sprawl. That's it's very fast twitch muscle fiber, very fast twitch muscle movement.
I think him versus Gregor Gillespie would be a good fight. But
I think Gregory would whoop his ass.
I think I would have to pick him in that fight because his stand-up has improved
way better,
dramatically. More than Madsen's
yeah.
has. Now, whether he could take him down and have his way with him, I doubt it because he couldn't do that with Guida. So
yeah.
But then again,
he didn't really. But the thing is, he didn't really try. He didn't really try to take him down either.
But the one time he attempted once. He didn't get it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like saying Cody was 2 for 17 on his takedowns against Corey Sandhagen when most of those weren't even really takedown attempts. It was just like up against the cage and trying to slide his leg in to do a trip, but he couldn't.
Regardless, it was a good fight. I just wasn't like I'm not sold on him yet, even though he's undefeated and he's like whatever. He's still on the older side of the game already, and he's coming in to the UFC pretty late in his life, so
yeah.
I hope that, I mean, obviously he's a fucking tremendous athlete and hopefully he can improve and adapt. But
if he wants to be the champ, that is literally the toughest division in the UFC right now, in my opinion. So yeah, unless you go to 145, he's like what, 36 or 37.
I highly doubt that man can cut that weight because he's been wrestling his whole life, and if he could cut that weight, he would have. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, but a lot of the times guys wrestle at the Olympics, they've made the weight before, to make the Olympic team.
I wonder what he wrestled at. That's a good question.
I don't know, but it's all in kilograms. It's not pounds. They do it in kilograms because it's the metric system. Because in America we're stupid.
Yeah, because I don't even know what
we're the only
kilograms are, dude.
Yeah, you go to Canada and you pay by the liter. You don't even pay by the gallon.
The one thing about all this stuff that pisses me off is I have like 2 different sets of weights outside. They're both like from Joe Weider or whatever, the brands. But the old set my dad gave
Joe Rogan's wiener.
Yeah, the old set my dad gave me, and it's in like kilograms
metric,
or whatever, and then it goes up to like they're 11 pounds, 22 pounds, 33 pounds, and 44 pounds. They're not 45s, 35s, 25. That shit pisses me off because my other set is that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why can't these be 45 pounders? Because now I'll stack all the weights on the rack and I got to recalculate what it all is. And it's like, I have like 200. I thought I had like 250 pounds worth of weights on that rack where I could do squats.
Turns out you had like I have 200. Yeah.
240. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's 243 or something like that. When it all adds up, I'm like, well, this sucks. Like, I can't even say I was squatting 250,
We're just lazy Americans. We go by fives for weight. So they're, 5, 10, 15, 25, 5, or 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And
so much easier.
I know. It's so much easier for us, but to them, it's probably would be like, what a bunch of fucking lazy morons.
Oh, I'm 100% sure of that.
Yeah. Man, what a rant we just went on.
Yeah, sorry.
About the metric system.
Yeah. That's how this podcast works.
I know, fuck it. I mean, we haven't really talked all that much recently. So
yeah.
In the main event, Jared Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum. This fight kind of went how I thought it was gonna go. Obviously, I didn't think Kelvin hasn't been knocked out. So, and I was like, I don't really think Jared Cannonier is going to knock him out. But dude, he dropped him. He dropped him with that check right. He hit him with, and it was perfect. And then Kelvin
were fucking dirty too.
Yeah, and then Kelvin won the rest of the round. He got dropped and then spun out of it, and then ended up winning the rest of the round. I really think had he not gotten dropped, he would have won that round. I think that was the biggest deciding factor in the fight, and that happened in, I think, the 3rd or the 4th round.
Yeah.
But it was a good fight. It was a fun fight.
It was super fun. I enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, and I think the biggest, one of the biggest things in that fight was the fact Kelvin couldn't get a takedown. And he wasn't able. He had the better combinations, but Cannonier landed I feel like he landed the more powerful strikes. Obviously he dropped him that one time, But other than that, I mean, he did better work in the clinch. He landed, some good strikes in terms of like knees to the body. And yeah, I thought that I really thought that this fight could go either way too. But I think, for Jared, the biggest factor was that he got that knockdown, because I had him winning the fight 3-2.
Yeah, I was watching the fight and I was thinking the same thing about like, I was like, this could go either way, but if you're gonna go on who almost finished the fight,
Yeah,
it was Jared.
yeah.
Like in my opinion, if it's a close fight,
The one guy
that
who
almost finished it
Yeah.
has to be the one that just it goes over the edge for him.
Yeah.
Like
that's kind of like what I think about in reference to that is in the third fight between Stipe and DC. And in the first round, DC was winning that up until he got caught, and he ended up getting dropped at the end of the first round, and he almost got finished. And that was the biggest deciding factor in that fight too. So,
yeah.
But
it was a fun fight. Kelvin Gastelum's always fucking fun, and Jared is game as they come. That dude's a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
for me, I think one of the most frustrating things in terms, like, because I like both guys.
Yeah.
I like Jared more because he's from Alaska.
Yeah.
So
represent.
Yeah, 907 represent. What's up, dog? Hit me up on Twitter. I messaged you a long time ago and you never answered. So if you watch this, which you won't, but if you ever do, if just looking around, maybe if you see it, hit me up on Twitter.
Someone tag him, guys.
Lay and Pray MMA. Lay and Pray MMA podcast, bro. So for Kelvin, he put I thought I won, but whatever on Twitter. I thought I won, but whatever, or something like that. Dude,
a little salty.
Get your goddamn weight figured out. If you have to, you can't even make weight at 170 and you had to go up to 185, and now you can barely make weight at 185. Have some goddamn discipline as a mixed martial artist.
Undersized.
Yeah, and you're still undersized. You're still 5'8", 185 pounds.
You saw what Connor was tweeting, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he's 5'9" or some shit like that with a 71-inch reach. I'm 5'9" with a 74-inch reach.
Yeah.
Technically, I could fight at 185 because I'm bigger than Kelvin.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, fuck, dude.
Nah, if I was Connor, you can't even win at 155.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's not a smart move for anybody. But could you imagine how slow and fucking weird he would be if he put on another like fucking 25 pounds of muscle?
He'd gas in the first 30 seconds of the fight instead of the first round of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. Fucking Connor.
Sorry,
I don't even want to fucking talk about Connor right now. I'm so fucking sick of it.
Kelvin needs to get his nutrition in check. I still believe that Kelvin could be fucking champion.
I do too.
At 185 or 170. If he had his fucking life in check.
He just needs to be disciplined.
Yeah,
he just needs to be disciplined.
Problem with tacos or something.
You know what? That's what I think it is. I honestly, and this is like not trying to sound, this is not trying to be racial by any means, but I really think the biggest thing is like a Hispanic heritage. Like food is a big part of that heritage. And I think he needs to be the person who like puts his foot down and tells his family or his friends or whatever, like, no. Like, I mean, I love food. The biggest reason why I didn't like, I mean, number one, I wasn't that good at wrestling. I mean, I placed at state when I was a senior, but that's not saying much for Alaska. Yeah. But even if I would have gotten offered like a full ride scholarship to like a junior college or a community college, I would have said no, because cutting weight sucks ass. Like if I were to do MMA now, I would struggle because cutting weight, I would do it because I'm disciplined and because I would respect my opponent, that I would respect my opponent would do the same thing. But
not even that, but like it's your fucking career, bro.
Yeah. Like this is a part of your job.
Seriously, you're a professional athlete. It's
like you need to turn this document in on time, or you need to make fucking weight once every 4 months, bro. Or 5 months.
It's just weird, man. Like
the thing is he just isn't disciplined enough.
Yeah.
If he were more disciplined, like look at his fight with Izzy. Like, look how good he
He
proved.
gave Izzy the hardest challenge of his entire career.
Yeah. Even more than Whitaker.
Albeit Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, but that doesn't. That was for 205. If Jan had to cut to 185, and was a skeleton, he wouldn't have looked that good against Izzy.
No, because he moved up to 205 too. So he's done it before, but he wasn't on the realm of Izzy there.
No.
So.
I think that if Kelvin just gets disciplined, I really think he needs to leave King's MMA, like in Southern California with Rafael Cordero.
Where would you like to see him go? What do you think would be good for him?
TriStar.
With a little bit of a
little GSP action, little Faraz
Sahabi.
Like we talked about what was it, Chase Hooper going to TriStar? That was another one. I just have high respect for that gym. So do I.
I think
Rory McDonald was there.
Yeah.
GSP.
Now
those are the only two guys that I can really think of.
Is what's his name still there? I know he went there. Kevin Lee. I know he went there.
Kevin Lee went to TriStar. I don't think he's still there. I don't think he is anymore.
But I mean,
his knockout of Gregor Gillespie was during that fight camp. Yeah.
So I just think that I don't know. I have high praise for that gym, and I think that they can create stars. And I think Faraz Sahabi is a stars. Yeah, he's a unique mind that can make if you connect with him like GSP did or like Rory did. He can make you a fucking champion. You know, or right there.
Well, I think he just needs to be out of his element. Like he needs to go somewhere where he's uncomfortable. Go to Canada. Go to a different country. Go to fucking Montreal. I think it's in Montreal, like French Canada.
Yeah.
And you're literally out of your element. Go fucking eat some poutine and then get your ass off the tacos. Some poutine.
Poutine. I knew what you meant.
Go eat some poutine.
Well, I mean,
poutine.
I don't know if he's a married man, but I'm sure there's some of that in Canada.
Montreal,
as well,
Quebec, Canada. Yeah. But you knew what I meant.
Yes.
And then yes, poutine. So I think he needs to be uncomfortable. I think, one of the biggest things is, if once you start getting comfortable and complacent, he's won one fight out of his last 6 or 7. The only fight that he won was against Ian Heinisch, which isn't really saying much.
No, because we watched him lose that last one, and that was bad.
He looked like dog shit.
Yeah. The thing with Kelvin too is I don't know if it's fair for me to assume that his gym is failing him, or is he failing the gym?
I think he's failing the gym because he's looked at as a leader in that gym. Yeah. Like Marvin Vittori.
People telling him like, "Hey man, you need to get this shit together," and he's not listening, or is he just like, or are they being like, "Hey man, you're doing fucking great. We're yes men, and you're doing fine." Like, I don't know.
Like Connor's gym.
Yeah.
Like Connor's gym. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, is he the star there, and nobody's gonna tell him what's up, or? Or are people telling him and he's just not listening and doesn't give a shit? There's two things that could be going on there. So maybe a move to TriStar wouldn't fucking help because maybe he'd be the same guy, but I'm sure they wouldn't put up with that shit because he'd be new there and they'd be like, you know what, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, we don't need you here.
This ain't working out.
Yeah, we got no fucking tacos here, bro. Sorry.
I don't know how the tacos are in Canada, but I bet you they're not great.
Like, what the fuck is this? Poutine tacos. This is the real poutine.
I heard
poutine tacos.
I heard some places in Texas is hard to get a good taco.
Dude, in fucking Canada, they don't even know what a mocha is. I was like, can I get a 16-ounce white chocolate mocha? And I was like, oh wait, metric system. I don't know what the fuck is comparable to an ounce. I was like, and they're like, what's a mocha? And I was like
16, what? Whatever. It's
fucking milliliter.
Drink this big. You're like, oh shit, dude! I didn't need a gallon of this shit.
So I was like, it's like espresso, and they're like, and I was like, and they're like, yeah, we don't even know what a mocha is. I was
Just
like,
some
okay,
strong
well,
shit, dude. Can
yeah,
you make me up some strong shit?
and then they gave me like the nastiest tasting black cup of coffee I've ever had. It was in British Columbia, so I'll give them, a break. I'm sure there's a lot of good coffee places in Canada, but in British Columbia, there ain't very many good coffee places. So
they didn't have that Colombian coffee, huh?
No, they didn't have that Colombian Bam Bam. Yeah. So, Jared Cannonier, what are your thoughts? What do you think's next for him?
Honestly,
look at 185. Look at the top guys.
I'm gonna pull up the 185 division right now and look.
We got Whitaker versus Izzy, but that's probably not even going to happen till next year. It sounds like.
Yeah. And then we got Marvin Vettori.
Dude, the bottom of your hat just blended in with your green screen.
Yeah, with my green screen. It's green down there. Sorry. And Chris Weidman ain't coming back for a long fucking time.
No, he just had to have a second surgery on his leg. I don't even think he's in the top 15, is he? Chris?
No, he's 12. Chris Weidman's 12 right now. So
Jesus Christ, man, how the mighty fall.
Yeah, you got Robert Whitaker is 1, Paulo Costa 2, Jared Cannonier 3, Marvin Vettori 4, Derek Brunson 5, Jack Hermanson 6, Darren Till, 8 Strickland. Ugh. Which is wild to me because now you're throwing in fucking.
It's because he took Uriah Hall's spot. Yeah. That's why. Because he beat Uriah Hall. Fucking whooped the shit out of Uriah Hall.
I know, but instead of him fighting somebody in the top fucking 10,
he's fighting Luke Rockhold.
You're gonna fight Luke Rockhold, which gives him a chance to get into the top 10, but he ain't even fucking top 15. So,
but that's because he hasn't been fighting, and his last fight was at 205. Dude, that motherfucker needed a break. His glass jaw was like, I mean, he got knocked out 3 times in a row. That's kind of
is the Marvin Vettori Paulo Costa fight actually gonna happen?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's been announced.
That's 2 and 4. That's 2 and 4 taken out of the picture.
Yeah.
He's number 3.
I think honestly, you know who I think
Brunson, he's supposed to fight Darren Till.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get Jack Hermanson, like you can't make him fight down.
He already beat Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, I think you wait for a title shot, but he said he doesn't want to wait. He'd rather take a fight in between than if that fight's going to happen. Like
I'm pretty sure he KO'd or TKO'd Jack Hermanson.
Hermanson.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's nobody for him to fight. He needs.
I think he holds out, and But the thing is he said he needs to fight because he's broke as fuck.
Yeah.
So honestly, you know what I think would be fun?
If Marvin Vettori and Paulo Costa are fighting soon, he could fight the winner of that for the clear number 1 contender, you know?
You know what I think he should do is, depending on how the Darren Till versus Derek Brunson fight goes, I would love to see him versus Darren Till.
I would too.
That'd be I'd love to see Darren Till versus anybody. I'd love to see Darren Till versus fucking Hooker.
I love Darren Till, so
I'd love to see Darren Till versus a bum on the street.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I just love shit talk.
I know, Sam. I can't understand half the shit he says anyways, but
he reminds me of Connor when he was fun.
I'm not scared of no one.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know, like when it was fun,
and then he's
Connor.
Like, except you, Romero.
Except for that dude. Fuck that dude. He's not human.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
All right. What do you, in terms of how many H-bombs on this card, what would you give? Well, the main card, at least, since we didn't do the whole thing. Because we mostly do that for pay-per-views, but we haven't done it in a little while. So
I think I'd give it a 3. That's like a solid 3 H-bomb.
That's what I was going to give it. I was going to give it a 3. Just because
it wasn't like super impressive, but it wasn't like, it was above, like it was average. It was a good card, you know?
I'll say this. I am, as Jeffrey would say, I'm on the dick train of Cock Romanov. Okay. I'm on the cock of Cock Romanov right now.
Cock Romanov.
Yep. Okay. So, I'm
interested to see where he goes from here.
For sure. Me too. I guess the next thing, because we'll just go through a couple things real quick over the next, 15, 20 minutes. Chris Matinho, the zombie, the fucking, I don't even know what to call him. The green zombie.
The green zombie because his hair was green.
Yeah, the green zombie. Sean O'Malley put on that the insane performance against him, but Moutinho wouldn't go away. He got his next fight's been announced. It's against Aaron Phillips, another bantamweight, and I think October, like end of October. And so this is the second fight on that 2-fight deal that Moutinho got. So hopefully he can perform and he can showcase a little bit more. Because I mean, I like the guy. It's I think Herb Dean kind of did him dirty in that fight with Sean O'Malley. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But Aaron Phillips has a lot to prove because I think this is his second stint with the UFC. He got cut and then fought in, I think, LFA or a different promotion and then came back. So, and he's on his second stint. He got finished in his first fight on his contract. So he needs to perform.
So and either way, this is probably
either or. It's win or lose. Yeah, for both guys.
Both guys,
which sucks, but at the same time, it's a business.
And depending on how you win, it could be regardless. If you win or lose, you could go.
If it's a shitty fight,
most boring fucking win you've ever seen, you might still get cut. You
True.
know what I mean?
Yeah. So Kayla Harrison, the two-time gold medal judo practitioner from the United States.
That chick.
Yeah. I can't even remember her name.
I don't remember her name either.
I don't want to do her dirty like that because she already got done dirty in her last fight. Gina Fabian.
Okay.
I think that's her name. Yeah. So Kayla Harrison got just a devastating finish, another one. And for me, the thing that she has no competition. She's fighting in a division that they created for her, just like the UFC did with Cyborg, with the 145-pound division for females. But Kayla's fighting at 155, but she has made 145 when she fought in Invicta one time while PFL, due to COVID, they basically weren't in operation. But she is in the finals again of the, this $1 million tournament. And it's kind of like, I guess I can't say, like, I honestly thought Rory McDonald was going to win his tournament. I was like, there's no doubt. And instead he loses to like Gleison Tebow and controversial fight, and then loses his next fight again to like Roy Cooper or something like that.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think Kayla needs to go somewhere else. I think she needs to either go to UFC or she needs to go to Bellator. But the thing is if she goes to UFC 145, Amanda Nunes, that's her teammate. But I honestly think she would give Amanda a run for her money if she were able to get her hands on Amanda. Like if she were able to get into a clinch position and she was able to utilize her judo and utilize her ground game, I think she would do really good against Amanda.
Yeah, but if she can't, it might look a lot like Amanda versus
Ronda. Yeah, I know. Except for a bigger version of Ronda. And then for Cyborg called her out, and Kayla basically said is like, yeah, I appreciate you calling me out. You can continue to ride my coattails. It's like, God damn, like you're not even established and you fucking
so you can chase a fight with me, but you can't beat me, so it don't matter. Like yeah, what a savage.
But I think if she wants to make money, she should go to Bellator, honestly. Because she's not going to make money in UFC. Even if she were to be...
she's got to figure out... she's got to lose the weight. She can't...
Well, she can make 145. She's shown that she can make it.
She can make it. Can she make it healthy and stay consistent there? Like...
She's a big girl.
Yeah.
Like, she's thick.
And juicy.
Thick and juicy. Like a juicy fruit.
I don't know, man. Like, and will that take away from her performances if she's that low? You know, you said she made it once. I didn't see her. I didn't.
No, she fought an Invicta at 145
Yeah,
because they
but
don't have a 155 pound division.
I didn't
So
see her. During that fight, I didn't see how she looked, how she performed, or anything like that. Obviously, well, but did it look like she had lost a step or anything like that? I don't know.
I didn't watch the
see
fight
it.
either.
Yeah.
I just know from my research that
Yeah.
she has fought at 145.
But if she can, that's going to be a move that she has to make, because I don't think anybody's going to open up a women's 155-pound division for her.
No.
The UFC sure as shit ain't going to do it, because they don't have there's not enough fighters in the. I mean,
they can't even get enough girls to fight Amanda at 145.
Yeah.
So
and even if they could, they're so few and far between at that talent level that there's no point.
I know. I think another thing for Kayla is, obviously she could stay with PFL and just keep winning $1 million every single year. If she really wanted to, she could. But at the same time, you're not going to generate any money for her because who she's fighting are nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's boring to watch somebody smash somebody all the fucking time. The reason why I stopped paying attention to Ronda Rousey until she fought Holly Holm was because I was like, I think Holly Holm will give her toughest fight. And sure as shit, she did. Yeah. I picked Ronda to win that fight, but I thought Holly would give her her toughest.
Run for the money.
Yeah. So I was like, well, shit, let's see how it goes. And then, she knocked Ronda's head off her shoulders. Still one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen, still to this day. It's like
so wild. She didn't even see the kick happen. Yeah. And this was like, oh, your head just fucking popped off your
shoulders.
It's
gone. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. And I know Kayla wants to have more competition.
She wants to leave a legacy for sure, but she's going to have to figure out a way to do that
but nobody's going to remember if you just stayed in PFL
and you're smashing pumpkins. You know what I'm saying? It just can't happen.
And you're Billy Corgan smashing pumpkins.
The
world is a vampire. Another fight. I mean, it's not super big news, but Nico Price versus Cowboy Alibera was announced, and it'll be interesting.
I saw this, and I thought this happened before. I saw they announced this fight, and I could have sworn in my head that they fought before.
No, he fought Cowboy Cerrone.
No, I know that, but
Nico Price. Yeah.
It was Cowboy versus Cowboy at one point.
Yeah. And Cerrone beat him.
Cerrone won.
Yeah, surprisingly, because
I was very shocked at that point when that happened, because I thought he was going to lose.
Yeah. Nico Price needs to either start smoking weed again or do something, because his fight against Michael Pereira was not very good.
No.
So.
And we both were had high hopes for that one, because they're both exciting fighters.
Yeah.
And it didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah. So. Hopefully,
and Charles,
Nico can.
Or not Charles, whatever. Cowboy is
Alex Oliveira.
Yeah, I was gonna say Charles Oliveira for saying that.
Yeah, Charlie Olives, as Dan Hooker says.
Yeah, Cowboy is an exciting fighter as well. He's
got good finishes.
He's
got good ground game.
He's kind of inconsistent as well, though. But he is entertaining to watch as well, though. So that should be a good fight. It's not like a fucking. My hype levels are through the roof or nothing, but it should be a good one.
Yeah. Fedor was, according to Alistair Overeem, who is now fighting in Glory, he said that he was offered the Fedor fight, or Fedor was offered the Overeem fight 3 different times and declined all 3 times.
It's a smart man.
Yeah. I mean, Overeem.
Because juicy
in Russia.
Overeem's about to come back.
Yeah. And on top of that, Alistair Overeem said that he thinks wrestling's gay. I don't know if you... I'm just throwing that out there because it was the most random MMA headline I've ever seen. I was on Facebook going through MMA Uncensored, and it was Alistair Overeem says that wrestling is gay. And I was like, what kind of wrestling? So I like go and I actually read the article, and he's talking about like WWE stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, what even sparked this? What?
Well,
I don't get it.
Probably people were telling him, bro, like, instead of this fucking glory kickboxing bullshit,
why don't you go do?
You should go fucking
millions of dollars.
Brock Lesnar in the fucking WWE and make millions of dollars every fucking year, like whatever, you know. And he's probably like, no, that shit's gay, you know, like
well,
whatever.
I mean, there really isn't much of a difference. I mean, there's a difference in terms of like actual fighting in MMA, but you're still in shorts.
Yeah.
At least in WWE, shit. If you want to wear pants, you can wear pants.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Like,
yeah, I think in terms of the fight,
dumb opinion, but
yeah, I know. I was just random.
I mean, I don't watch WWE anymore, but it's fucking, dude, people love that shit. So
I mean, I'll watch
the shit out of it when I was little.
I used to also. I used to go to friends' houses because my mom wouldn't let me watch it.
My brother still watches that shit. Not who? Jeffrey. My other brother, Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who? I was like, Jeffrey watches WWE.
No. The middle brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this fight for Fedor goes, because I'm fairly certain it will be his last one. You know, it'll be a good send off. But he's fighting a guy in Tim Johnson, who I think Tim Johnson is gonna whoop the shit out of Fedor.
Is he the one with the mustache?
Yeah, the big guy kind of almost looks like Ben Rothwell, but he has a mustache. Yeah, he's good. So I mean, he beat Matt Mitrione, bro.
Okay.
That's not really saying much, but Matt Mitrione beat Fedor.
Yeah.
So, and that's saying a lot. That means
that hurts every bone in my body. No offense to Matt Mitrione, but another one of those.
But
how the mighty have fucking fallen.
I know. You lose one fight to. Well, first off, he almost lost to Brett Rogers before he just he hit Brett Rogers with a punch and starched him, and then he, loses to Fabricio. He loses to a 185er and Dan Henderson.
And Bigfoot
and Strike Force loses to Bigfoot, loses to who else did he lose to? Besides Matt Mitrione, Ryan Bader.
I was gonna say Bader.
Yeah, knocked out by Ryan Bader.
I wasn't sure if they actually fought or not, and I was like,
yeah, they did.
Say Bader.
Yeah, that was in the tournament.
But to go from like 30-0 to like fucking
the last emperor, I remember when they were trying to, dude, Dana was so bitter about the fact that he wouldn't. Yeah, they were trying to get the Brock versus Fedor fight.
He talked mad shit about Fedor's manager.
Yeah,
he's like,
I know. He's like, fuck that guy, fuck Fedor, fuck that guy. We'll never do business with them. But I guarantee you, if he was still undefeated to this day, he'd probably bring him in.
He would have got him eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's going to be a tough one for Fedor. I think Tim Johnson's probably going to beat him in Russia. So it's going to be, the Rocky versus, what's the Ivan Drago? Yeah. So
he better pack his own meals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you ain't safe fighting Fedor in fucking Russia.
In Russia.
They ain't going to send him out like that. You better fucking pack your meals.
It's like, and if you beat him, you better hope that there's a helicopter that's gonna fly in and lift your ass up out of the flight to your hotel.
Legend.
And
direct line to Putin.
Yeah, God,
you better fucking look out.
I know. And then just the last one for me that I had put here, Alexander Gustafsson is out of the Paul Craig fight that they had scheduled. He suffered an injury, so he had to pull out, which is really unfortunate because I thought that would be a super fun fight. And I was going to give Paul Craig a good chance in this fight because
that could have been his coming out party if he'd put on a good performance,
because his performance against Jamal Hill was
a great fighter. So
yeah. And his performance against Jamal Hill was outstanding.
Yeah.
His jiu-jitsu game was on point.
And if you could do that to somebody that's a big step up, dude, you've made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. I think
who does he fight now then?
I don't know.
They just postpone it, you know?
I don't know if he postponed it, but Paul Craig said that after he turns 35, he's done. So he's trying to fast track it.
Well, he's a smart man. Get out of there before you take too much damage and get fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that they can find something soon, like something that's enticing, and because he's fighting in 205.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I mean, I didn't really have anything else. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we conclude this?
I don't think so. I was trying to look the other day or yesterday after we postponed this podcast. I was trying to figure out if I saw
because of Jeffrey's technical issues that he's
that
still having
today.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if I found any new topics to talk about or anything like that I wanted to bring up, but I didn't really find anything specific. Not unless, which I really don't want to, so I don't even know if I want to bring it up.
I know what you're about to say.
Woodley shit,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it kind of ties in because I mean it's still combat sports, and I know Jeffrey, it drives him fucking nuts because he doesn't want to talk about him unless we're talking about them doing MMA. But Jake Paul was talking mad shit about Jorge Masvidal and basically saying hoes will be hoes, bitches will be bitches because Jorge said that Tyron's going to knock him the fuck out. And then Jake took offense to that because apparently, they were cool in the lead up to the Ben Askren fight. Yeah. And then in that fight, like I give Jake a good chance, but it doesn't change the fact that I still hope Tyron Woodley knocks his fucking block off. I'm just tired of the talking. I hope Tyron's old ass can knock him the fuck out.
What scares me is I also saw a little clip of an interview. It was like on a Facebook reel or something like that, which all of a sudden I have on my fucking Facebook page. When I look at it, it's called like reels, and they're like kind of like little TikToks.
Yeah, they're at the top of the Facebook.
Now it's not even at the top. Now it's like when I'm scrolling through it, just fucking a bunch of videos pop up for no reason on my phone for some reason.
I haven't updated my Facebook in a little while. Maybe that's why I don't have those.
I don't know. But I saw a little interview with Dana White, and he was being like, all right, guys, you got to remember, though, this is a Tyrone Woodley that hasn't won a fucking fight in 3 years.
Yeah.
And he's fucking 40 years old and all this shit. And I was like, oh, fucking Dana, dude. You're making too much sense and hurting my fucking feelings because I just want him to starch Jake.
Yeah. But the thing is like you look at it, and obviously I think the UFC was like, yeah, absolutely, let's get rid of this contract. So when Tyron was like, essentially he asked for his release.
Yeah.
And the UFC was like, sure. Like they're like, oh, you mean we don't have to pay you? This because he was still getting paid a lot because he was the champion.
It was the champ, yeah.
So, and when you were the champ, obviously you're not making as much, but you're still making pretty fucking good money for your fight. And they don't have to worry about that fight card or that pay anymore. Now they can go pay 20 undercard fighters your purse for 5 to 15, show and 5 to win.
15 G's maximum.
So yeah, I just think for Tyron, he just needs to throw his hands. It's boxing. He doesn't have to worry about
just keep your
jiu-jitsu.
Hands up and fucking let him fly, baby.
Yeah, throw those 12 ounces, bud. Throw them.
I'm just the only thing that makes me remotely interested in this fight is that it's a real boxing match.
Yeah.
If it was another one of those, this is a exhibition type bullshit, I'd have been like fuck out of here.
Like Logan versus Floyd.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a shit about no
winners for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I don't care about no winners and fucking no judges and all that shit. If that's not in here, I don't want no part of it. You know, this
Well,
is
the thing that's nice that it's different is
it.
it's not Triller, it's Showtime boxing.
Yeah.
Triller was a fucking gong show. And then Dana was just constantly putting them on blast. He's like, tell these motherfuckers at Triller to leave me the fuck alone. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't
have fucking Snoop Dogg and these guys in a concert between every fucking fight and all this shit.
You had Oscar De La Hoya, who was like blitzed out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
He was high. He was either high or drunk or both.
I can probably tell
cocaine.
you
Cocaine.
That's not even a secret these days, isn't it?
No. It's been that way for 20 or 30 years. He was on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
Big in boxing.
It's expensive.
I guess.
Oh, I mean, I've never done it, so I don't know.
No, I just know a lot of like professional boxers and stuff that their downfall, like either late in their career
Mike Tyson.
or after their careers, cocaine, dude.
Yeah.
Like, where the shit runs rampant in fucking boxing, dude. Like, where did this come from? Ricky Hatton, baby. Like, ooh,
yeah,
poor soul.
Yeah, he looks like shit.
Yeah,
he got fat and just looks bad.
I bet he still has hands though.
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to run. I wouldn't talk sideways to him on the streets.
Fuck no.
I mean, he'd probably speed bag my ball sack.
I'm not even fucking. I wouldn't even try, dude.
Yeah,
I'd get a selfie with him for sure. I'd be like, dude, let's get a selfie. I ain't talking shit. No, nothing.
Hey,
you
hey guys, I'm here with the Michelin Man.
You look fucking great.
I'm here with the Michelin Man. Anyways, can I get a selfie?
Is this a comeback, dude? You're looking great. You fucking in shape.
Like 500 pounds.
Lie to his face.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Dude, you almost had it against Floyd when he got knocked the fuck out. Dude, you were right there. You're so close.
I actually picked Ricky Hatton to win that fight. I was so fucking stupid. I never chose against Floyd ever again.
I did in the Manny Pacquiao fight because I just wanted to see him lose.
I was like, I'm on Floyd's side now. He beat my boy Ricky Hatton. I was a huge fucking fan. I watched the fucking 24/7 or whatever it was called for that shit when the countdown or whatever it was.
24/7 Showtime.
And he was fucking screaming and shit when he was hitting bags, and I was like, dude, I'm fucking sold. This dude's undefeated. He's gonna fuck Floyd up. He's got power. And then he went to sleep, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on Floyd's side now.
I think another thing also is that, I mean, this is a little bit older, but Diego Sanchez is in talks with bare knuckle.
Yeah.
And I think one of those things is he had to clear a mental health, like a physical. And it's like, I don't think he's going to clear a physical. So
I don't know. Who would you even make him fight, dude? Like, or let him fight?
Everyone.
If he could get in shape and lose
Rachel
weight,
Ostovich.
I don't.
Paige Van Zandt.
You can't make this dude fight Chad Money Mendes.
Dude, that'd be fun, huh?
I don't know.
Chad Mendes, you think Hector Lombard fights in the goddamn thing? He couldn't pass a steroid test in the after USADA. You think they're testing at bare knuckle? Chad Mendes is probably on that shit.
Weighs 155 now.
I bet you Chad Mendes weighs 185 pounds.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's a big 145er.
All muscle. So if he's not cutting the weight for like he was in the UFC, that bitch might as well be 155 and fight with fucking Diego. Although Diego's probably gonna be 170 because
Diego was a 170. He's probably weighing in at like 200 pounds now.
Yeah, so that fight's probably not even a possibility because these guys probably aren't taking that shit serious as they were with their UFC career.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna go Diego goes up to 170, 180.
I don't know. Chris Levin had a 6-pack when he was fighting in bare knuckle. He looked good. So he was taking it serious.
Supplements.
Yeah, I don't care. Put him on all the supplements. Fucking Joe Diesel Riggs is fought Hector Lombard.
Was he at 185 still? Highly doubtful.
Who?
Lieben.
I think they were fighting at 205. I think it was like light heavyweight or something.
Yeah, that's way heavier than he was in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 185 is what he fought. But I'm just saying, like, even then, and also he was sober in bare knuckle, I'm just saying, like,
these guys are they seemed to go to bare knuckle and move up the weight, not that they're not staying down where they were.
I wouldn't want to. If I don't have to cut weight, I'm not going to cut weight. If I'm going to make more money,
Diego's probably not going to be able to fight Chad because Chad's probably like 160, and Diego's probably like 175, 180. Like.
I'll tell you, I'm 5'6". You're 5'4".
You're 5'4".
You should stand up. We could barely see you. You should stand up. We could barely see you on the screen. You ever heard of wrestling, Connor? I'll rest my balls on your forehead. That was back when Connor was
back when it was fun, Connor.
Yeah.
It was fun,
now it's
Connor.
just trying too hard.
Yeah.
All right, man. I don't think I've got anything else. We could, get together here in a couple days, or maybe Friday. Wait, no, Friday you're busy, huh?
Friday might be tough because we got a local fair going on over here, and we're gonna go to that. And I don't know what time I'll be home, so like it would be rough.
I don't think. I mean, we don't even really need to do a picks on this fight card because the only fights that I really know are Kevin Lee and Daniel Rodriguez, and Edson Barboza and Gigi Chikadze. So. I mean, we really don't have to. If we have time, we can. Or Saturday, we could do something. Oh wait, no, I gotta work. I gotta work on Saturday. Never mind.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think. Oh, I thought that was that card. I was like, holy shit, this card's lit. But it was.
Well, I think if we're gonna talk about just those two fights, I think Kevin Lee's gonna win because Kevin Lee's got a full camp.
Oh, Daniel Rodriguez this is the Ultimate Fighter finale over here. Okay.
And then, this is the UFC Fight Night.
Yeah, but it's the guys from the
co-main event,
the Ultimate Fighter are fighting to see who is the next Ultimate Fighter or whatever.
Yeah,
which does suck for the co-main event because the guy, got
Trevon or something like that.
Trayvon.
I don't remember.
I forget his last name too, damn it.
Yeah.
Either way, he got injured and had to pull out of the Ultimate Fighter, which sucks, man. But
yeah.
I mean, the fights, I don't know anybody really except for the ones from the Ultimate Fighter. Like basically the top 4 fights or 5 fights on the main card. I know.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of which, I haven't even caught up on the Ultimate Fighter, so I'm like,
it's been pretty good actually.
I watched the first like 3 or 4 episodes, and fucking Brian Ortega's team kept winning, and I mostly watched because Aaron Phillips is from Kotzebue, Alaska, and I actually was wrestling in high school. Like I watched him win a state championship in wrestling, and it's like, fuck, well that's cool because I watched this guy wrestling when we were in high school, and then he got his ass kicked in the first episode of it, and I was like, well, I guess kudos to you, Aaron, but fuck.
Yeah, that's a good one. Fucking
Volkanovski hates Brian Ortega.
He comes back. He's got like, I know, almost all his guys are in the
finals. I know. So, well, good on him. Yeah, I don't have anything else, buddy.
That's it, man. We can wrap it up. If we have time for another episode, we'll figure it out. If not, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. As always,
recap it if we watch it. So
yeah. As always, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Land Prey MMA Podcast. Also, and that's if you're listening to us on podcast platform. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Comment, subscribe. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to hit that notification bell, and then check us out. Check out our podcasts as well because it does help. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
We need to get some sponsors.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So anybody out there, whatever.
Anybody with your $5 sponsors, we'll take it.
$5 foot long.
We need to hire a technician out in this motherfucker.
Fuck. What we need is a sound guy. Yeah. We need anybody to troubleshoot sound. So if you know a guy and you want to sponsor us, please.
We'll take $150 for a new microphone, and just if you're a tech guy, We need help with audio issues. So
Yeah, seriously. Cut us a fucking break, Zoom. Cut us a break, microphones. Cut us a break, computers. Mine's been fine. It's yours and Jeffrey's that's been an issue every fucking time.
I've been irresponsible. I ripped out
okay.
my cords, and you know how it goes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jeffrey's still we should probably check on him. He probably did have an aneurysm because he messaged us on Snapchat and was like, I'm going to go throw my fucking computer out the window. So, all right, man.
Guys.
All right. Take it easy. See ya.